Hey everybody. So my planer joiner from Jet, despite the fact that I've only owned it for a few months, has got a pretty serious problem, and it's really difficult to fix. As you can see, I've had to take off the cover, and I had to loosen the motor down here so that I could loosen this belt, so that the spindle or whatever this is called, that the spinny blade part. I don't know any of the technical terms for this stuff. Forgive me. Um, Came loose because you've got these three little screws here, here, and then there's another one on the bottom. And I don't know how well those, like these little black ones right there with the Allen wrench heads, and then on the inside over here, which I mean you there's like no way to see this, but down in there there's a little screw that or a little bolt that holds it in on the inside. Those bolts just disappeared. I don't know where they went to. Um, and I get it. Like the machine is spinning and moving really fast, and it vibrates when you put because I've been feeding a lot of oak through it, and so it's kind of struggling because it's a little bit underpowered to be doing. Um, a lot of the boards that I do are full 10 inches wide, which is the maximum width for this thing. So I'm putting it out there at like 9 3/4 inches because I want to make them as big as possible. And with oak, it's kind of struggling sometimes, even though I'm only shaving off like fractions of a millimeter. So it gets, it vibrates a lot, and all three of those bolts have just disappeared, and so that thing wasn't, and so this blade was not held in there on this side, and it had just maybe 2 or 3 millimeters of wiggle room, but that's enough to throw everything out of whack, and so I've had to I took off the cover from this side. I took off the cover from this side, which I don't think I actually needed to do because I was trying to figure out if there was some way to get this off, but there isn't. Not without completely disassembling the entire thing. So what I've done is I I magnetized an Allen wrench, and I'm trying to like hold the bolt in place with that Allen wrench while spinning the other Allen wrench from the outside, and I got one of them threaded. The problem is though is that this wheel right here, this pulley wheel that the belt goes over, is just a little bit too big. You can kind of get it for these top two screws, but it completely obscures the third one. Um, I'm afraid I'm going to have to take this entire thing apart and to get this to fix it. And I also want to say that Jet, I mean, come on, I a plastic gear, really, plastic, a plastic gear on a planer, really? I mean, I get it. It's not your top of the line planer, but come on, like seriously. Uh, I know that's not going to last. I know that's going to be the point of failure right there is that plastic freaking gear. What, you've got a metal one right here. This is well not a gear, but it's a, pulley. Um, why would you put a plastic gear in there? Just. So anyway, um, that's probably the last Jet tool I'm going to buy, or uh, sorry, I've got your table saw. Um, that I'm okay with. Again, I get it. It's not your top. I didn't buy the top of the line one, but seriously, like that's what a $10 part that you could have put in there. Um, and this bolt design, like to have those bolts come off, you know, that could have been really dangerous. It's a good thing that I wouldn't have even necessarily figured this out. Anyway, so 2 stars, man. 2 stars, Jet. Not happy. this machine is really difficult to do maintenance on, and that plastic gear is just, that's like when I found the plastic gear in my KitchenAid. I was just, just disappointed. I don't know if you make them like this worldwide or if this is just a Ukraine thing. Maybe I got, you know, this is like identical to the one that you sell in Germany, except the one you sell in Germany has a bunch of safety features on it, and maybe it has a metal gear. I don't know. You know, maybe I should have gone to Germany to buy it. Uh, but anyway, so that's my project for today. Trying to figure out how to tighten these screws and get my planer up and running so that I can flatten some more boards. But I did get this nice big pine. I mean, this thing's pretty thick. How thick is it? I don't know. 4 centimeters? Where's my little measuring doohickey? It is, whoa, 5.5 centimeters thick. So that's like 2 inches plus a little bit. Yeah, 2 inches plus a little bit. And it's almost 3 meters long. I think it's 292. So that's a nice big old plank. And it's live edge, but the edges, you can't see it because it's covered in tools right now, but the edges are fairly straight. I mean, they're live edge, but they're not like super curvy like they sometimes are. So I got it all nice and cleaned up. It's got some worm damage like all the darn wood does, but you know, I can't complain. I paid nothing for this. I paid next to nothing for this wood. And, you know, just means I need to put some resin in it, which makes it nice anyway. So, now that one's too big to plane. It's much too wide. It's I think it's like 30 centimeters wide. And my planer only goes up to 25, 254 millimeters. Yeah, this thing's 34 to, well, 32 to 35 centimeters wide all the way down. So 11 to 12 inches basically, or something like that. I don't know, metric. I don't know if I'll ever get the same feel for metric that I have for the American system. But oh, and then yeah, I got my new gas mask, which, you know, I tell you, this thing was kind of expensive. But given that like dust collection is really difficult in this workshop, because of the super low ceiling, and just the fact that I only have one opening, there's no way to get like a flow of air coming through. That is going to be, and it's, you know, it. So the advantages I have of that are when I'm wearing a paper mask and you've got safety goggles on, when you exhale, you get your lenses get foggy. That one, you know, doesn't happen, and it's actually easier to breathe in, I think. Maybe I'm just in, you know, from being in the military. I'm used to having like a bunch of gadgets attached to me. So like putting on a hat, headphones, or just my normal ear protectors. These are sound canceling, so unless I'm using the planer, I usually use these. But the planer, if I'm using the planer or the table saw, which are really loud, you know, then I put on the actual ear protectors. And then having that on top of all that doesn't bother me in the least. I'm used to it. I mean, if I can wear a gas mask in the middle of the desert, what is this when it's nice and cool outside? So anyway, well, I'm gonna get back to work, and I hope you all are having a good time out there and being creative and doing something new and calling your friends and family. And for those of you who are in America, I'm glad to know that you guys are coming towards the end of this COVID thing, but you know, you're not there yet. Still practicing safety, but a lot of people are getting vaccinated. That's not the case here in Ukraine. I think we've got less than 50,000 people vaccinated out of 44 million. And it's going to be, we're looking at maybe 18 months of continued quarantines. Right now we're on strict quarantine for at least another 3 weeks, at least until Easter. So, which is nice on one hand, because it means my mother-in-law is here helping take care of the baby, and I get more time in the wood shop. Um, and having the extra pair of hands in the house is just super helpful. But uh, you know, I think I really need to go to Epicenter, which is our Lowe's. I really need to go to Lowe's, make a Lowe's run. I could order the stuff online, but uh, there's the, their online store is not complete, and one of the big things I need is a big piece of this particle board or whatever that stuff DSP um, to redo my workbench so that I can get that router table installed, and they will custom cut it for me there, but only when they're open. Like I have to go there to get it custom cut. The custom cutter guys you can't do over the online ordering. And plus, there's some stuff you just need to go in there and look at it to know that you're getting the right thing. Um, but anyway, so 3 more weeks of quarantine. Other than that, it doesn't change my lifestyle too much. I'm kind of a homebody as it is, but I think my wife's kind of going crazy. Um, she wants to get out and go shopping and stuff, and when we go downtown, like it's grocery stores are open, everything else is closed, and so it's tough, but we're getting through it. I definitely prefer the online classes. I, Online classes are way better than in person because if I'm going to sit there and not understand a lecture, I'd much rather do it at in the comfort of home, where I can look stuff up on YouTube really easily and try to figure out what we're learning. But anyway, well, take care of each other and be good.